Hey everybody, it's Gina here from Gina Makes It. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am showing you how to make a very easy and quick journal out of an envelope. So I have these beautiful envelopes that I created, and I was looking at them and thinking, gosh, I don't want to cover up any of these sides. What can I do with this envelope to sort of reutilize it? Not as an envelope, but to still showcase how it looks. And I thought, okay, I'm going to make a journal. So I started by kind of deconstructing it, ungluing it, and then cutting off those side flaps that you normally would glue down when you were constructing an envelope. Now, you don't have to use a envelope that you made to create a journal like this. You can use a pre-made envelope. You would just have to pull down that little flap and then cut off the sides just like I did in the other one. But once you decide what type of envelope you want to use, now you have to make the inside pages. And because this is no-sew, it's pretty easy. You're just going to be gluing the pages together back to back, but first you need to get the right size pages in order to do that. So I created this little template here that I'm using to measure out some neutral pages to add to my journal. You can see I'm leaving a little bit of extra room on the side and on the bottom just in case I want to flip over the side to create a little bit of a messier, sort of worn in look. So I'm just giving myself that ability because it's always easier to remove than to add length and width to your page. I've done it so many times where I've cut it too small and I've wanted to create a pocket or a little flap and I wasn't able to just because I cut it a little too small. So I'm just cutting them all together using my paper trimmer because I like to have a nice clean edge. You can use a ruler to rip it or you can use scissors, but you can see now I have some little booklets here because the papers that I did cut actually came out. They were signatures. They came out of a magazine and then another one came out of a music book. So once I have those, I'm going to put those inside and make sure that they fit the way that I want them to, and I'm sure they will because we did use that little guide. I did want to point out one thing that I do to my envelopes. I add a little gusset on the bottom whenever I'm creating them, and it's pretty much just like 1/8 of an inch. You can see here this envelope is put together, and it's just so there's a little bit of room to add things to the envelope, but it also works out in this case because it also creates a little bit of a spine, like a little bit of a tiny spine to help create space when you start to add your pages. So I have this beautiful piece of vintage wallpaper that I'm going to add just to add a little pop of color to the neutral pages. So I'm folding it in half and I'm just figuring out where I want it in my lineup. And I am inverting it because that's how we're going to glue it. You'll see we're gluing it back to back just like that. And so the image is going to be on the inside and then the white part is going to be on the outside. So actually this method is really great if you have single-sided papers or scrapbook paper that you want to use too. It is the perfect way to cover up that blank page without having to add a lot of bulk. Sometimes you have to add images to the back side and then you create pages that are kind of bulky, but this way is a very sort of organic way to cover up those blank pages. Now I know that I wanted one more page in my signature here, so I have a very old book page and I am just folding it over because I know that these edges are so old and worn and I know that I'm going to like the way it looks, kind of crumpled and folded. And then I'm also going to open it up and create a little folder on the bottom part. So once I kind of tear these and fold these over haphazardly, there's really no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing it. I'm just sort of doing it. I'm going to fold up the bottom by measuring the height of the other pages. Once I'm finished preparing that, I'm just going to add it to my little signature here and line everything up and then start gluing. So I'm starting with the inside cover. I'm going to add my glue to that little left-hand flap and I'm getting my first page ready. So I'm just going to use a little bit of fabric tack glue. And you can see I'm going around the edge and then I'm going to go in the middle and then I'm going to line up my first page and place it right there on top of that area. Since I'm using a page that already has a natural fold, I'm just trying to line it up with that little gusset on the envelope or the journal cover, just to make sure that there's no wonky folds in it. So I'm just rubbing it down and I'm folding it over, and then you'll see when I open it up, I'm trying to straighten it just a little bit, and that's just me being particular. You don't have to do that. Sometimes people like the way papers are looking when they stick out the top and stuff, but I'm just trying to get it all nice and lined up. So I just run my finger over the crease again just to secure that glue down. Now I'm going to move on to this page, this piece of vintage wallpaper that is a printable in my shop, and so I'm just adding glue to the side that is going to get glued down onto that music paper, knowing that I'm going to trim all of the edges once I'm done gluing in my pages. So even though some is going to hang over the left hand side, I'm trying to line up the fold with the fold on the envelope right there in the middle, knowing that I'm going to trim those edges off once all of my pages are on. So now I'm just keep going down the line. I'm lining up my next page. I'm adding glue, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to add that next little folded signature from a very old magazine onto this page. And you can see we're just covering up all of those white sides of that paper. So I don't ever print my digitals double-sided. I know that there's a double-sided matte paper. I've never tried that before, but if you've had success doing that, I'd love to hear about it because it's something I've never really done. Is the quality the same on the back side? I think in theory it should be, but I'm always interested to hear how people print things because it's always kind of a mystery to me what goes on with other printers. I have an Epson EcoTank that I really like, so if you have an Epson EcoTank and you do print double-sided with matte paper, I'd love to hear about it. Or if you have other paper that you like to use, please leave a comment down below because that's always something that I'm interested in hearing about. So now that that page is down, I'm just adding my final paper here. I'm adding glue to this last page, and then I'm just going to kind of tuck it in here and get it all nestled in nice and messy, but kind of neat at the same time, if that makes any sense. And being careful not to glue my pages together because that is something that is always a occupational hazard when you are a journal maker. Now that my pages are in, they're all glued down, I'm going to go through and trim off the edges. So the first one was obviously the inside cover. I want to maintain this beautiful curvature of the left hand side, which would be the cover of the journal. So I'm just going around and carefully trimming it. And I'm also adding a little bit of glue to the edges where I might have missed when I was originally gluing it on. I find that happens a lot when you're overhanging a paper. You have to kind of go through and sort of glue down the edges that were missed originally with the glue. And now I'm just kind of measuring with my pencil to see where I want the edge of that page to come. I am taking it to my paper trimmer just because I'm a little bit more comfortable using a paper trimmer than I am tearing it, because I always manage to tear the papers, especially these old papers. They're so brittle that sometimes they just don't do what you want them to do. As you can see here, I kind of have to lift up my paper trimmer because they're old and they're kind of getting crumpled in my blade, but you can see that I achieve a very nice clean edge, and I'm very happy with the way all of my pages are lining up and how they all look inside of my little journal. It was so easy to create this little inside structure. So one thing I am going to do is add a gusset, just like I did on the bottom, onto the flap. So you can see I'm just using my scoreboard and I'm doing, I think that's probably 1/8 of an inch. It might be 1/4 of an inch. It looks a little small to be 1/4 of an inch, but I do think it might be 1/8. And you can see I'm just creating like a little space there, and I'm just folding it over because this is going to allow my flap to come over the edge a little bit smoother, a little bit more nice. You can see there, it's like we create a little spine on the right hand side to allow our journals to grow as we work in them. So now I'm just going to do a little bit of decorating on the inside. I'm going to add some lace to the inside cover, so when the flap is shut, you see a little bit of lace peeking out. I'm just using a little bit of vintage lace that I have in my stash. And I'm also adding a little bit of decorative paper. These are just scraps from my last journal making session that I had. And I'm just adding it to the top. All of the ephemera that I am using in this journal is part of some new kits that I have in my Etsy store. One is called Soft and Lovely, and then the other one is Petals in the Post, and that's where these envelopes, or this particular envelope, had come from. So I'm just trimming off the top, and then I'm going to fussy cut this little lady here, and she's from an older kit called Women with Flowers that was in my Etsy store a while ago, and so I just really like the way she looks and how she blends on that beautiful neutral page. So I just glued her down. Now I'm trimming up another piece of ephemera from one of my kits and adding it, and I'm also adding this little butterfly to the middle. I'm adding this lady to the right hand side, and I'm just going through all of the pages and adding ephemera as I want to. And here is the final journal. It is so pretty and so cute. I added a little button to the front and then just used some floss to secure it. I just thought that was a really nice way to keep it closed. And so here is the first page. I did some fussy cutting. I added some paper doilies. I added some vintage trim and some more fussy cut ladies. Here is another page. Oh my gosh, I just love it so much. I added that plate on the left hand side to create a spot for journaling. I created this tag with this gorgeous little rosette. I just love this little journal. It's like the perfect size to just keep and have it devoted to one particular thing. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for yet, but I have a bunch of other envelopes that I am going to utilize in this way because it is just so small and dainty and so easy and so effective. Thank you so much for joining me today for this tutorial, and I hope that you have a lot of envelope journal making in your future. I will see you next time. Bye.